UFC 113 review. Just ended a few hours ago. Well, 9:30, 10. Right now the fights from both all fighters. Besides KOSCHECK DALEY, but I'll discuss that when I get to it. But I think everyone else we saw, I think it was great performances. So with that said, I'm going to discuss the preliminary bouts. We'll not discuss them, just say who wins. And then in the main card, I'll discuss that. So first fight, Jason McDonald versus John Salter. Salter won by first round TKO, but it was due to strikes. I hope people understand that. I think fights that end in injury like this, kind of like Corey Hill, Patrick Cote when he fought Anderson Silva, and now this one should end in a no contest because their opponents um, did nothing to their opponent to end the fight. Corey Hill, he leg kicked his opponent, but his opponent did nothing to block the kick, and you get the win. Cote, he was bouncing around. Anderson Silva did nothing, and Cote messed up his knee. And now with this one, what I read was John Salter just caught the leg, and McDonald was bouncing around, and his leg / ankle broke. So Salter did nothing to, stop the fight. And that's what I think should happen. If with arm bars and Kimuras and the arm breaks, then yeah, the guy didn't tap out. The idiot should, get a loss. But with injuries like this, I really don't think so. I think they should go to a no contest. Sorry. But everything else, Yoshika Yoshida versus Mike Diamond. Diamond won a unanimous decision. Sorry, Tim Hague versus Joey Beltran. Beltran, unanimous decision. TJ Grant versus Johnny Hendricks. Hendricks, majority decision. Jonathan Goulet versus Marcus Davis. Davis, second round TKO. Joe Dirksen versus Tom Lawler. Dirksen, second round submission. We got to see this and the Davis fight. And I think Dirksen should have won submission of the night. I think his submission was a little more impressive than Belcher's, but hey, that's just me. So yeah. First fight of the main card was Alan Belcher versus Patrick Cote. Cote impressed me. Sorry. He did well. I think in the first round he did pretty good. He took Belcher down. Almost got a Kimura. And I think he was actually close to getting Belcher to tap out. Belcher pretty much, he said in the post-fight MMA Live that he was in no danger and he was fine, but not the way I saw it. The look on his face was grimace, pain. Not grimace of power, but grimace of pain. And I think he was close to getting his arm or his shoulder out of the place or tapping out. And yeah, but once again, Cote, he kind of put too much weight on one side. Belcher used that to reverse it and get on top. Second round came around, and Cote once again did pretty good. I thought, he was landing the harder strikes. I thought Belcher was landing leg kicks. I'll see that. But I think the more damaging punches were on Cote. But Cote tried to take Belcher down. Belcher kind of did, the power bomb, but landed him on his face and spun around, got Cote's back, went for the rear naked choke. Cote kind of pulled the arm down, but Belcher did it again and finally got Cote to tap out. After the fight, Cote complained that, Belcher spiked him on the head. But after the review, we did see Cote's neck compress, but it was legal, and it was a legal win for Belcher. So Ellen Belcher, second round submission over Patrick Cote, but I was impressed by both fighters. Next one, Kimbo Slice versus Matt Mitrione. Not much to say in this fight. Mitrione impressed me. I wasn't a fan of him before this fight, but became a fan of him after this fight. Kimbo Slice, he's old. I mean, what did Dana White want from Kimbo Slice after this? I mean, I think a lot of people kind of, thought, when I don't know. I don't know what Dana was thinking. I didn't expect Kimbo Slice to become the heavyweight champ or the light heavyweight champ, to be honest. So, I think it was kind of bullshit that Kimbo got cut after this, because he did get cut after the pay-per-view. And Dana White did it kind of quick. Usually he waits like, midway through the next week, and then he finally cuts him. But no, he didn't wait at all. He just, boom, right after the fight, bam, you're cut, man. Right after the pay-per-view. So I think that's a little bullshit, but impressive performance with Matt Mitrione, showed some ground game, which I'd never seen before, and showed that he still has stand-up. So, great performance with Mitrione, and I was pretty impressed by Kimbo, too. But, Dana White cutting Kimbo, I think, is a little bullshit. I know all the Kimbo haters are going to be like, yeah, he deserves to be out of the UFC, but you know what was Dana thinking signing Kimbo anyway? Jeremy Stevens versus M. Stout was, fight of the night. I will agree with that, because we didn't get to see, Uh, Tim Hague versus Joey Beltran, which looked on paper, what people were writing on the internet, was a pretty good fight too. So what we saw, I agree. Stevens versus Stout was fight of the night. I gave it to Stout. I give the second and third round to Stout. Give the first round to Stevens. But the judges had it a different way. Stevens did win a split decision. First round definitely to Stevens. Third round definitely to Stout. Stout injured Stevens with a body punch. Joe Rogan kept saying a leg kick, but no, it was a body punch. And second round, I think Stout was more technical. I think he landed the more strikes and the more technical strikes. Yes, Stevens did land the more probably the power shots, the more damaging. But I think Stout was more technical and he landed more shots. But great performance for both of them. Great fight. Period. Next one, Josh KOSCHECK versus Paul Daley. KOSCHECK did what he had to do to win the fight. He took him down all 3 rounds and won it 30-27. In the first round, KOSCHECK got hit with the knee. I thought it was a little weird that Joe Rogan didn't bring it up, didn't bring up the knee situation. And neither did MMA Live, John Anik, or any of the MMA Live crew bring up the phantom knee. I don't know if Dana White went over there and said, hey, don't mention it, or someone did, but I think it's a little bullshit that no one brought it up. Daley, after the fight, threw a left hook to Josh KOSCHECK. Yeah, you deserve to get cut after that. The only thing that kind of irritates me is that, yes, Paul Daley does deserve to get cut because of that, but why not Nate Diaz? Nate Diaz did the same exact thing. Well, not the same thing. I mean, he pretty much, well, Jason Miller wasn't fighting, but he pretty much, his whole, I don't know, I'm so pissed off about that. I think, yes, Paul Daley does deserve to get cut, but so does freaking Nate Diaz. I mean, same thing. Yeah. But in the fight, Josh KOSCHECK pretty much, shit on the fans again, like he always does, and pretty much said that he's going to beat GSP. What he showed in this fight showed nothing to switch my opinion on him, and I still think it's going to end in the same way. I think GSP is going to rock and destroy Josh KOSCHECK. KOSCHECK did nothing in this fight to show otherwise. Yeah, I still think GSP is overall a better fighter. I think he's a better striker. I think he's a better wrestler. So overall, I still think GSP is gonna destroy KOSCHECK. No, not destroy, but I think he's gonna beat KOSCHECK. Main event: Lyoto Machida vs Shogun. Great performance by Shogun. First round TKO. Lyoto kind of stunned me a little bit because not only did he was being an aggressive fighter, which is not him, but he took Shogun down, which is once again not Lyoto. So once the second takedown happened, they got up, and Shogun connected with a strike and dropped Lyoto, and Shogun got into the mount and started raining down punches, and the fight was over. Lyoto was out cold. So great performance by Shogun. I think he fights the winner of Rampage Evans. Dana White and MMA Live kind of said, he didn't know who's next for him. Who else is gonna freaking fight, Shogun? Hopefully not Lyoto again. I mean, no. This rematch was well deserving. Does Lyoto deserve an immediate rematch? I don't think so. I think Shogun should fight the winner of Rashad Rampage. Then Lyoto fight the loser of Rashad Rampage. But we'll see. But great performances by all fighters. I wasn't impressed by KOSCHECK or Daley, but everybody else I was impressed with. So yeah, there's my review on UFC 113, sorry, and yeah, great night of fights. I thought it was awesome. So there you go. Adios. I'm out of here.